Hey guys, Chicago injury lawyer Scott Desalvo here, and in today's video I'm going to answer one of the most popular questions I get all the time. It's often not the first question I get, but it's often on people's minds even if they're not asking it. I know, because it always comes up. And so the topic for today's video is, how fast can you settle my case? How fast can my case be over? I want it over. I want the money. I want to close the book on it. My life is too busy. I don't want to deal with it. First thing I want to tell you is, once you hire my firm, we do everything. We do all the legwork. All we will do is call you for information. You give us the information, we do everything else. The next time you'll hear from us is probably when we have an offer on your case. And in my firm, a ton of my cases, we have offers on the case within 3 or 4 months of the person being done going to the doctor. So that means you tell me, because remember, we can't settle a case until you're done going to the doctor, because once we settle, if you're still seeing the doctor or you haven't plateaued in your medical treatment, all that future stuff, if we don't know about it, we can't claim it and you can't get money for it. And once a case is settled, it's settled. We can't go back and get more, right? But the cool thing in my office is we're lightning fast, and we're getting faster all the time because I am obsessive about efficiency and making things work awesome. Okay? So that's how that works. But what else did I want to tell you about? Okay, so look, how long does a case take? The first thing for you to remember is you got to know we can't settle it until we know what the injuries are and we get all the medical records. Now, it's hard to get medical records. During that big shutdown, getting medical records really slowed down to a halt. It took us forever to get medical records. Things have recovered a little bit, but they're still slower than they were before the big shutdown, okay? But we're aggressive about it. We have a private company we pay a lot of money to get those records for us. And if it's a doctor's office, we have relationships with doctors all over the place, because this is what I do for a living and they're familiar with my name. Because I represent hundreds and hundreds of people. I mean, at this point, thousands and thousands of people all over Chicagoland. All the doctors and hospitals are familiar with my name and the firm name, right? So we get the bills and records directly from them, often just electronically, immediately, with a download link. So we're getting faster at it all the time, and we have a very efficient process for getting excellent demand letters done, summaries done, demand letters out, negotiating any claims against the case once the case settles. The other thing is, we don't settle the case until you give us permission, so you don't have to worry about that. I've talked to people in the past who are like, oh, my lawyer settled my case, I never gave him permission, now he's mad at me because I won't sign the papers. Well, if a lawyer settles a case without your permission, maybe you should be mad at him or her. You're not supposed to do that, in my book anyway. I think it's not okay. But so how long will a case take? I once settled a case, I kid you not, in like an hour. But that was, somebody was in my office for something else. We finished the paperwork we had to finish, and her husband was with her, and her husband had a situation. And I was able to get him, I don't know, $6,000 or $8,000 settlement on the phone with one phone call, because it was right before the statute ran, and I didn't even take a fee on it. So, that's the aberration. But as a general rule, we have to wait until your medical care is done or your treatment's plateaued, right? If you have a permanent injury that requires ongoing medical care, that's a different story, right? But once your doctor says, yeah, this is as good as you're going to get in workers' comp, it's called maximum medical improvement, then we can start moving towards settling your case, but not before. And then we got to get all your medical bills and records and make sure that we find all of the diagnoses. You don't want to have me send out a demand letter missing a bunch of diagnoses, missing a bunch of treaters, health care, a bunch of medical treatment, missing bills. It defeats the purpose. You're going to end up with a tiny offer that doesn't really correspond to the seriousness of your injury and all the medical care you went through and all the bills that are out there outstanding, right? We want to include everything. So that's important. That's important for you to know. General rule of thumb, once you're done treating, 3 or 4 months is about as fast as it's going to go. I'll occasionally do it faster. If we're dealing, I've noticed a lot with insurance companies lately is we'll have a demand letter out within 3 or 4 months to the insurance company, all the bills, all the records, organized, summarized, detailed demand letter, and we're calling them. You got to give them at least 30 days to review it and evaluate it and put a value on it. But what I've noticed a lot is certain insurance companies are playing telephone game, right? Whereas in other eras of the many, many years I've been doing this, I can pick up the phone and say, look, cut through the BS. Do you want me to call you 25 times to get to a reasonable number? Or are you going to get in this range? Get me in this range. I'll talk to my client, see what I can do with the medical bills. This is not the kind of case you should want us to go to court on. It's not the case we should want to go to court on. It's a case that should settle. And a lot of times that would work, right? But I'm noticing a lot these days, I think maybe the insurance companies are trying to slow down payoffs because they got whacked during COVID, and now that all of that is, everything's opening up again, I think the economy is sort of heading towards recession, so they're slowing down the payments. They don't want to be paying out all this money. They're cautious, right? So the financial markets makes an effect. It has an effect on how fast you're going to get paid. But what they're doing now is they're making me call them. They start out with some ridiculous number, like under the medical bills, under your total medical bills. And then we go back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. I end up calling them 20 times before they're even in the range of what's reasonable. So what I've started doing on a lot of these cases is if they give me an offer that's like in the basement, way under medical, I'll call them once or twice. But if they come up like by $1,000, I'm like, go jump in the lake. Go jump in the lake. My client is not going to settle his case for $3,000 under his medical bills where your guy rear-ended him. Like, where are these numbers even coming from? And it's just, I don't know if these are new adjusters. They just have their marching orders. They're like, well, we evaluated it and this is the number we're putting on it. We don't want to close down negotiations. We're willing to negotiate. I'm like, okay. Why is my client supposed to wait 3 months while I play phone tag? Because if I talk to somebody 20 times, I've called them 60 times and listened to their phone messages, right? Because guess what? I got a lot of cases. I got a lot of clients. I help a lot of people. It's what I do for a living. And they've got a lot of cases. They've got a lot of claims open. So it's not like 20 phone calls is I call them and they pick up and it's a 30-second phone call. Okay, how about $125,000? No, we can't pay that. We'll pay $114,000. Okay, I'll call you back in 2 days. It's not that efficient, right? So it's like adds a million phone calls to my plate. I already talk to probably 30 to 50 people a day on the telephone. Pardon me, on the telephone. And anytime there's needless phone calls added to that, I just think to myself, how many of my clients' cases are being slowed down because this insurance company wants to play the telephone game? Like, makes me angry. What I've started doing is just, if they give me a lowball offer and it's crappy, I just file a lawsuit. File a lawsuit. Adios, muchacho. Good luck to you. And you know what's happening? Now, after we file the lawsuit, they call me and offer me reasonable money. So, it's stupid. It's ridiculous. But I guess that's what I'm going to have to start doing. They're always trying new things to undercut us, not pay us anything. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. So, we do the best we can. So my point is, don't get frustrated with me or any lawyer if they're not getting you a quick settlement if you're still going to the doctor. We can't even begin to settle your case until you're done going to the doctor. Then you're going to have to give us realistically 3 or 4 months after you're done going to the doctor, because it takes a long time to get the medical bills. It takes a long time to do a medical summary, which we do in every case, because I never want to miss a diagnosis. I never want to miss a treater. I never want to miss a bill, because all of that stuff adds value to the case, and my job is to get you the max, right? Some cases, look, if it's 6 months after you're done going to the doctor and you're not at a good number with the insurance company, it's time to just file a lawsuit. And if your lawyer's just sitting on the case, you need to call them and say, look, I've been done going to the doctor for 6 months. It is plenty of time for you to get my medical records, get my medical bills, and find out if the insurance company wants to play ball. And if they don't, let's go to court and see what the judge has to say about it, right? Let's see what 12 strangers have to say about a rear ender, and now I got a permanent bad back, and they want to offer me $8,000 for it. See what they have to say about that one. Anyway, that's that, and that's that, folks. No quick answers, but some pretty good guidelines. I hope that info helps you. If you or anyone you know needs a lawyer, has a legal question about an injury case, any kind, you can call me anytime, day or night, 312-500-4500. That's 312-500-4500. Please feel free to refer me, any family or friends, or share this channel with them, and have them subscribe too. If you enjoyed the video, please give me a thumbs up, and if you would not mind, please give me a 5-star review on Google. Very competitive market. There's a link in the description. If you enjoy my videos, please leave me a 5-star review on Google. Link in the description. All you do is go to that on your phone, tablet, or PC, computer. You go right there, you click 5 stars, you say a kind word, you hit submit. Literally 10 seconds of work for you. Invaluable favor to me that I will always, always appreciate you doing. Because people really do rely on Google reviews when they're deciding on a lawyer to hire. So if you wouldn't mind doing that for me. I forgot to mention I have 2 great tools on my website that are completely free to use, and they're awesome tools. I'm getting a lot of positive feedback. People who use them love them. They think they're awesome. Tons. Like over 100 people use these tools a day. That's how popular they are. And I get tons of messages and comments. Somebody even wrote me a nice letter thanking me for the videos and for creating those tools. So I think you'll enjoy them too. No lawyer to talk to. They're completely free to use. One is called the Case Cash Calculator, tells you what your case might be worth. The other one is called the Good Case Calculator, tells you whether your case might be good or whether your case might have some problems that you better know about so that you and your lawyer can fix them before they tank the value of your case. Links in the description, free to use. Share them with your friends. Use them as many times as you want. Doesn't matter. Free for you to use. So I put them together for people who aren't quite ready to talk to a lawyer but want custom info on their particular situation, but all without talking to a lawyer. So free, no obligation, right there for you. Built them to help injured people, whether you become a client of mine or not. As you can see, I'm pulling into my parking garage, so it's the saddest part of a video for the lawyer. The lawyer has to shut up and stop talking. Can you believe it? Makes me sad, right? I'm kidding. I talk so much every day. By the end of the day, sometimes it's peace and quiet is nice. But anyway, hope the info helped you. Hope you and your family are well. I hope you are doing okay. If there's anything I can do for you, you please give me a call, 312-500-4500. Thanks so much for watching, and take care. Have a great day.